In today's video, I want to talk how you go from a solo teacher to building a team around you for your music teaching business. When I started, I taught on my own. By the time of the end of my school, when I was able to sell it, I had about 60 team members. If I had 60 team members from day one, the whole thing would have fallen apart. Even if I had probably 10 or 20, it would have fallen apart because I just didn't have the leadership skills to get there. And the chances are for you, if you're a solo teacher, or maybe you've got one teacher working for you, or a VA or an admin person, you probably also couldn't take 20 staff on today. If you've got 20 staff, you probably wouldn't be able to take 50 staff on today. And this is the pattern because your leadership limits how far you can go. And so I had to work really hard on becoming a great leader for my music school. I'm still working on it. I still need to get better. But over that journey of going from 0 to 2,000 students and a team of myself to about 60, I'm going to give you 10 of the best leadership tips that I have from my journey. I'm going to give you this video for free. It's a training that I did for our BAM Squad group, which is the #1 community for music teachers and academy owners all around the world. These 10 tips are not everything you need to know about leadership, but they're going to get you thinking. These are things I wished I know way back when I was starting out. And no matter where you're on your leadership journey for your teaching business, whether you're leading yourself or leading a small team, this is going to help you a huge amount. So check out this free video. If you enjoy it and you think that you might want to come be part of the world's best community for studio owners, we have something incredible for you. We have a free 7-day trial where we're going to unlock and give you everything. Come check it out. At least give it a shot. We have some of the coolest people on the planet there building amazing studios and music schools all over the world. Grab a free trial. #1, you need to cast the vision repeatedly because vision leaks. So what this means is you can't just at the start of the year with your team or even one other person go, hey, this is the big vision for the year, let's get excited about it, and then not talk about it until again that time next year. Vision leaks. People forget it. And so you want to be talking all the time about you're excited about what's happening. What if we could do this? Or I've got this goal to do this. I'm working on this. Get people excited, get them taking part and feeling part of something awesome that you are building. #2, just be real, be yourself. I remember early on, my hero was my teacher, Chris, and I just wanted to be like him, and I'd often try act in a way that was like him. And he's a really real guy. And then I realized I was actually just needing to be myself. I'm still inspired by these other people, but I am Johnny Wilson. There's no other Johnny Wilson in the world, and there's no other you in the world. So just be real, because people prefer a leader that's always real rather than one that's always right. When you don't know something, it's okay to just be like, what, it's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. And just, when times are really tough, you actually don't have to pretend everything's perfect, and it's fine. So don't be fake, just be real. People prefer a leader that's always real than one that's always right. #3, have a passion for quality in your music school. So yes, encourage creativity and experimentation and things like that, but always you want to integrate that with maintaining a standard of quality, discipline, structure, and things like that, because otherwise the creative side can go wild, and I'm sure you can make an argument for why that would be good in some circumstances. But the main thing is you want to set a standard, and the bigger that you get, the harder it is to maintain that standard. So you have to implement it early on as a leader and show it yourself and fight for it for the whole team. #4, walk towards the mess. So this is the idea of being proactive, not reactive. So when you see a messy situation, whether it's a tough conversation you need to have, you look at your cash flow graph and you're like, oh, this is going to hurt in a couple months if we don't deal with this. Or you see some sort of safety issue at your school and you don't deal with it and it snowballs and something bad happens. You always be proactive to solve things, not reactive. So even if it's tough, like a tough conversation you have to have with someone, the earlier you have it with them, the better. So there we go. #5, you want to lead in a way that if it was published on the front page of the newspaper, there would be no harm done to your reputation or your image. So that's the whole idea of integrity, right? You're going to make mistakes and stuff up, and you're going to wish that you did certain things differently, but overall you want to make sure you lead with integrity. And so even when no one's watching, you're acting in a way that if it was published on the paper, you wouldn't be ashamed of yourself. #6, to be kind is to be clear. You always want to give clear instructions and expectations to you, your team, your students, your staff members, and that is actually the kind thing to do. To be vague and to give people kind of a half-ass answer when you actually mean something else, or you're too scared to say it, it's actually just unkind. So you deliver things kindly, but you want to actually be clear with people and be candid and direct in a nice, loving way. Number 7, champion others and celebrate wins amongst your team, and wherever possible, give the glory for something to someone else. So you get the benefit of, owning the school and being the CEO or the founder and all that great stuff. People already know you're awesome, and as it grows, they're going to think you're even more awesome. But you don't need all the other glory. So you want to give that to as many other people as possible. So whether it's at a concert or something, and you've pulled off the best concert ever and you had to slave away for ages, those are the moments where you're like, hey, can I just get my team up on stage here? Because you might be thinking, I did all this. I didn't. These guys pulled this off. Without them, it wouldn't be so amazing. Things like that, just all the time. You always want to praise people publicly and give the glory to others. You're going to get all the benefits, even tenfold if you do it that way. Number 8, the biggest asset that you can bring to your team each day and your music school in general and your students is your energy. Literally, if you are not excited about what you're doing in your studio, don't expect other people to be excited. You need to lead by example, bring your energy each day, and consistently demonstrate positive attitude, strong work ethic, lead by example. 2 to go. Number 9, you always want to try and involve people in your dreams, your vision, and your decisions. So remember, when you've got a tough decision to make, or you're trying to launch a new program or something new and exciting, and you actually need people to get on board to help, you need to involve people in that process so that they have a chance to weigh in, and people that have a chance to weigh in, they will buy in, okay? So you want that buy-in from people. You're going to get that if you give them a chance to weigh in first. Number 10, final tip for this top 10 leadership tips. The goal of a great leader is to create more great leaders. So creating a great leader beneath you literally doubles the output of what you're able to achieve. So you want to make it your goal to train people. You don't just hire them, bring them on like we talked about in the 5 levels of leadership and just let them do their thing. You actually have those people under your wing. You are responsible for growing them as as an employee, as a contractor, trying to develop them, their skills, and take them to new heights. And if they do that, they appreciate it so much, most of the time. And they become better at their jobs, which means that they achieve more, they do better things, they take more off your plate, free you up to do more valuable things, and that's how it really grows. So there we go. That's the top 10 leadership tips I've got for you, especially if leadership is something that you haven't had a lot of experience with. Don't be freaked out about it. People just want to be led. Like, they just want a strong leader. It doesn't take much to look around the world and find lots of bad leaders. But to be a good leader is not that hard, just to get some of these basics down. Treat people how they'd want to be treated, lead them well, and you can revise these things over and over as you need to. Now, I want to recommend a book to you, but I also just want to remind you, if you've got some great leadership tips yourself, comment down below or share them in the BAM Squad group, and we'll get them added to this section of the course. The book that I recommend, that I had loads of my staff read, is called Developing the Leader Within You. There was a original version, now there's one 2.0, and it's by John Maxwell. So Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. I think that is the best beginner leadership book that I've seen to give to someone that's developing themselves as a leader. We even developed questions for each chapter to make sure our team was actually reading it, so they had to answer questions. And we've put that resource into Module 6 in our team section, so you can go read that yourself, check out the PDF questions, and it might be one that you want to read yourself or read as a team if you've got a team, or if you're bringing on a manager for the first time, or even an admin person who's still leading people in customer service. Is a fantastic book to get people thinking like leaders. And as I've said, as the leader gets better, the whole organisation, the whole music school gets better. Hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to reading your best leadership tips down below.